On this episode of War No Dam Experts, Rebecca and Madi have a dam expert from NorthWestern Energy to celebrate the podcast's 1-year anniversary.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames. If you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest dam town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
And I'm Maricela Hazard.
And we're no dam experts, but today's
the day, folks.
I can hardly contain myself because we have with us Jeremy from NorthWestern Energy, who is a dam expert, people.
Insert applause.
Great to be here.
Welcome to the podcast, Jeremy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So your official title is the Director of Hydro Operations. Or is that it?
Yep.
Okay. So you're the bigwig up there.
The dam guy.
The dam guy.
And so how many dams does NorthWestern Energy have?
We have 11 of them in Montana.
Holy moly. And 5 of them, of course, are in Great Falls because it's the greatest dam town.
Yep. Absolutely.
I just want to know, do you guys at Northwest Energy, especially in the hydroelectric dam department, how in love with you are you with puns? Like, are you?
You got to be pretty big into puns if you're the dam guy.
I appreciate a good pun.
Okay.
Thank God this is going to go better than we thought.
I may not be able to deliver them well, but I can receive them.
What did the fish say when he swam into a wall?
Shoot.
Damn. What did the other fish say that was watching him?
Oh, I don't know this one.
Me neither.
Dumb bass. So
good enunciation on that.
Thank you. It's only because we're on the podcast. But I'm pretty sure, like, when you guys retire and you get a plaque out there, you're like, thanks for being the best dam employee for the past 20 years.
Exactly.
Best dam service. Okay, I just need to apply.
So she wants to be a dam worker.
Yeah, not an expert.
She has no skill. I'm going to tell you that right now.
In anything, I guess.
No, mostly just for NorthWestern Energy, I think. So how long have you been with NorthWestern Energy?
Well, I've been in my current job for about 15 years.
Holy moly. So yeah, that does make him an expert.
Yeah. We had different guests on the podcast, and they were talking about invasive species if it got into the inner workings of the dam. I'm not exactly sure which part, but he said it would destroy them. How often do you clean the dams? Like, what's your day-to-day
dam
job?
cleaning schedule?
Like, job look like?
Well, the dams and the plants stay clean fairly well on their own.
Okay.
And we do have, there are some invasive species out there that are of concern, but have not either reached us or are not impacting us at the time. So that's all good news. But we have to keep a good close watch on that in the future, for sure. Day to day, what do our guys do? The plants, once you have them up and running, they stay running for the most part if we're doing our job anyway. But there's
no dam catastrophes where they just come down and you're like, who was supposed to be watching the dam this week?
Yeah, we're against dam catastrophes. And they all have great, control systems, computer systems that keep things running. But, our guys keep a good eye on things, and they make changes as needed and do needed maintenance so that they continue to stay functional and reliable for the long term.
So we know how dams work, but let's just say
in general.
I'm talking like Wikipedia infographic. How do dams work? Can you explain it in fifth grader knowledge?
Absolutely.
Thank
Maybe
goodness.
fourth graders, because fifth graders are getting a little too smart nowadays.
So making electricity is actually very simple.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's simple.
Okay.
And most forms of electrical generation all have to do with turning a generator.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a machine that's called a generator, and if you can make it turn, you can make electricity.
Okay.
So different power plants just use different ways to make the generator turn. If you picture a wind farm like we have right outside of
Yeah.
our nice dam town, it's using wind, right, to turn the turbine, which turns a generator.
Okay.
A coal plant or a nuclear plant would use high pressure steam to turn a turbine,
Okay.
which turns a generator. We use just the weight of water. So we have a dam that it can be an earthen dam, it can be concrete. There's a lot of different designs of dams. And that's just really to build up the water so that it will, obey the law of gravity and flow downward and through our turbine, which then turns the generator, and we have electricity.
So when you have your employees that monitor the flow of water, do they decide how much water comes out through the dam, or is it just, we'll take what we can get?
Well, both.
Okay.
We can only take what we can get. There's only so much flow in the river.
Okay.
Okay, and that flow changes from year to year, and it changes from month to month if it rains or if it's hot, if we have a big snow melt, etc. So we try to take the greatest advantage of the water we have to make the most energy out of it.
Okay.
If we have more water than what we can put through a given plant, then that has to be passed downstream outside of the plant itself, either through gates on the dam or it would spill over the top, et cetera.
Okay.
Having said that, we do actually control the flow in the river and the elevations of the reservoirs by the amount of water that we are putting either through the plant or through the dam.
So, as we know locally, and guests who've had the privilege of coming to our town, let's say in the late summer, early fall, there's not a lot of water flowing over the dam or through the dam, however we want to say that, to create the falls. So, the best time to see them, as we've told everyone to see the falls, is in late May, June.
Yep.
Why is the water flowing so much faster through the dam then versus now? Is it because of water levels? Is it because of you guys just being hoarders of water?
Hoarders.
Water hoarders?
I'm just a dam guy, not a water hoarder. No, it has to do with the flows in the river.
Okay.
So in the spring, and you're exactly right, if you want to see, the most impressive version of our falls here in the city, May, late May, early June, some years even into July. And basically, if I'll throw out some numbers here, for example, I'm a numbers guy. That helps me. Maybe some of our listeners are as well. So let's say at a given plant, well, let's talk about Black Eagle. That's
Okay.
the first plant, right here in town. And if we can use 6,000 cubic feet per second of water, that amount of flow, through the plant, then any amount of flow over that will go over the dam and go over the falls, and you'll see it.
Okay.
So if we're in the spring and we have a good runoff and there's 25,000 cubic feet per second of flow in the river, then, there's a lot of water going over the dam.
Yeah,
But-
because you only need the 6,000.
Yep. So
There's a big difference there from math.
Yeah, so the 6,000 would stay the same for most of the year as long as we have all the units on, and anything extra, would go over the dam. When we have less than 6,000, we just use everything we have.
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen pictures of Black Eagle Falls in February, March timeframe when it's nearly frozen. How do our extreme temperatures impact the dams?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
That is a good question. That's a damn good question.
If you're not sick of puns yet, you might be in 40 minutes, but just stick with us because this is the first time.
Yeah, each of our facilities reacts to extreme cold in a little different way. Some of them don't have any issues at all, and some of them do. Black Eagle specifically, we can't let ice build up directly against the dam.
Okay.
So we always have to keep a little bit of open water between, where the ice is on the reservoir and the edge of the dam.
Okay.
So, and that can be challenging, and it's a lot of hard work for our guys. They at times have to go out on the dam in very cold weather
And chisel the ice.
and basically break it off to keep it from forming. The other thing you'll see, where we do have water, leaking through some of the dam boards or spilling over a gate, it's cold, it's 20 below, it wants to make ice. So we'll get ice build up, downstream of the dam, in various areas that could potentially impact operation of one of the gates or something. So those are kind of the biggies. And then, we have a lot of equipment. There's motors and gearboxes and drives that help move things on the dam. And, just like your car, when it's 20 below, those things don't work as well as they do when it's, 70 and sunny.
So how do you do maintenance on the dam? Like if the gate gets stuck, do you draw the short straw and you're like, all right, pal, you gotta go underneath and
Get the hairdryer out, the chisel.
It'd be a big hairdryer.
Yeah.
No, it's one great advantage we have is that these facilities, many of them are over 100 years old.
oh wow.
And there's very, very seldom is there a problem that hasn't come up in the past.
Okay.
And, our first and foremost priority is worker safety. And we're not going to do anything to put them in harm's way.
Of course.
And we have developed, I believe, very safe, effective methods to correct just about any issue that would come up through the years. And those would be, you're talking about a gate freezing up. I was going to say a dam freezing up. I don't know about that. But yeah, if you have a gate freezing up, and that happens in some forms at times, not very often, But the other thing, too, is we have multiple gates on every dam. So there's usually another option.
So the Missouri River doesn't freeze all the way through. It's always flowing, correct? So it's only freezing at the dam portions because there's smaller areas or there's smaller surface areas to allow that area to freeze. So that's why we're seeing it, right?
Well, we'll actually, when it gets cold and the water temperature drops down near freezing, nature makes ice everywhere, even on, the river upstream of here. Now, it's coming out of the bottom of Holter Lake at our Holter Dam, which is actually warmer, the warmest water in the lake in the middle of the winter.
Oh.
So it takes a while to cool off as it flows towards Great Falls. But when it gets cold out, the river will make ice and the flows will decrease. And then that ice, and I'm sure you've seen it in the winter here, you go across, Central Avenue Bridge or something and you see ice floating downstream.
Oh yeah.
So it floats and goes along its way, and then it gets to a dam, to Black Eagle, where now the water slows down and it's able to build up and really form, significant ice. But then once it gets through there, it's basically has to flow, either through the units, through a gate in the dam, and that, that energy kind of breaks up the ice. So,
Okay.
So say at Rainbow Dam, we would have, much less, and I would almost say no icing issues because it's already gone through Black Eagle.
Oh.
Black Eagle kind of takes the brunt of the fun.
So you got ice hitting up against the dam. You've got the dumb bass hitting up against the dam all the time. And they're 100 years old. Do you ever just how do you drain the water and check the structure? Or do you just have a scuba dive team that goes down and is like, yeah, looks like the concrete's still good down here?
Yeah, great question.
I just did the scuba dive signal for A-OK.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. First of all of our facilities are licensed by what's called the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or
Okay.
FERC, the FERC.
Okay.
And
The damn FERC.
FERC has they have a very rigorous dam safety program.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that we want, or the government or anybody, would be a failure of a dam structure that would lead to flooding and, all the potential issues there. So we have a very rigorous program where we, on a dam by dam basis, they're all different. They're all different designs. They all have different. We actually look at failure modes. Okay, how could this dam fail?
Mm-hmm.
And what are all the ways that this dam could fail? What are all the things that could contribute to that kind of failure? And then each of those things gets tested for and monitored for and checked thoroughly on a frequent basis. And then even those failure modes are updated, because, as people, we learn more and issues happen around the world that we can learn from. And it's that whole system really keeps us on our toes, which is a good thing, because we're committed to it.
Yeah.
To know, the condition of our dams and to monitor everything that would give us the slightest hint of a potential issue.
Okay. So then the other question I have on dams, I'm going to have a ton of questions. I don't know why I led that way.
I have probably about 40 in my head right now. Some of them are
Jeremy's
serious.
getting
Other ones are
scared.
but you go right ahead, Rebecca. I'm listing them again.
So I think I heard, and I may be making this up, which happens sometimes, but at some point in the next year, aren't we doing something at Black Eagle that's going to drain the water behind it so that there's no water?
We do.
Am I making this up?
No.
Okay.
We have, we would call that a drawdown, where we're going to draw down the elevation of the reservoir. We actually just had one at Rainbow a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And there are absolutely certain, maintenance or inspections, things that we can only do with the water drawn down. So there are, means and methods to lower the reservoir elevation so you can expose and get to, what you need to on a dam.
Okay.
We don't do those very often. One, because, our reservoirs are used for recreation, and it's part of what makes our community beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But when needed, we notify the public and do what we can, really try to minimize the duration. But you're absolutely right. There are some things you can only do when you drop the level of the reservoir.
Okay, so you said you're a numbers guy. Do you know how many gallons are in a cubic foot? Because the only flow that we memorize is that Giant Springs flows at 156 million gallons
of
a day.
water per day.
I think, and I may be wrong.
Okay.
This will maybe a...
Well, this will be a show note. I'll do the math
this
afterward.
could be a chink in my damn expert armor here. But I believe it's 7.48 gallons per cubic feet.
So 7 times 6,000.
That's a lot of water.
42,000 gallons.
You're going to do public math?
I just did it.
Oh. Say it again.
So one cubic square foot is 7.
They say 7.5 gallons.
7.5 gallons. So 7 times
6,000.
42,000 plus a half.
But you got to divide.
Oh, yeah.
Because a gallon is smaller than a cubic foot.
Oh, okay.
So
Never mind. We're not doing public math. We all know I can multiply 7 times 6. Okay. So we'll add some notes about that in the show notes. We're going to move on. A funny question. Do you have a favorite dam in our community?
I do.
Okay. Can you tell it? Because I don't think the dam is going to listen to the podcast.
Ryan, to me, Ryan is just spectacular.
Yeah.
They're all great, but just the design of the dam, where it sits and with the public access to the island and everything, and the history with Lewis and Clark, and that's probably my favorite.
So, I've toured the Ryan Dam powerhouse.
Aren't we special?
It's really cool.
So
that's not something that happens on a regular basis. So guess if you're planning to go out to Ryan Island and go, I heard Rebecca had a tour. I want a tour. No, don't do that.
The dams were constructed kind of to allow for the falls to still have their natural beauty, right? Like still embodies a resemblance of what Lewis and Clark saw. In a way, as much as they could.
Yeah, I don't,
am I lying?
I don't know that they necessarily thought of that or intended that when they built them over 100 years ago.
Okay.
But, basically what they did is they would build on top of the falls.
Okay.
So it's a real key way that we make power here. So the two components that dictate how much electricity we can get out of a hydroelectric facility is the height of water or the depth of water that sits above the turbine. If you can have 500 feet of water, a great big huge dam, 500 feet up, you can make a lot more energy. So it's the height of water and the flow of water through the units. So what they did, which was really creative at the time, if you already have a waterfall that's 50 feet high, and then if I can build a 30-foot high dam on top of a 50-foot waterfall, now I have 80 feet of energy of water above it. Where without the waterfall, I'd have to build an 80-foot dam, and that just might not happen.
Yeah.
So most of these, Ryan and Rainbow and Black Eagle, were all built directly on top of the dam, and typically or right on top of the falls, and they would set them back a little ways. So I don't know if it was their intent to maintain the visual integrity of the falls, but the way they did it, does that.
Just a happy accident, or was it done by design?
They were geniuses.
So you mentioned Ryan Island and Ryan Dam, where the Great Falls are.
Yep.
And we always tell people the best vantage point for the Great Falls is on Ryan Island, but not to be negative, but NorthWestern Energy shuts down the island between Labor Day and Mother's Day. So why is that?
Well, I think it's just a lot harder to keep it up, and
because of the winter.
And I think with when those dates were set up originally, I wasn't part of that, but I'm sure they definitely wanted to maintain it and keep it open for the busiest recreational time of the year, which they did.
Yeah.
So I guess for us, it cuts down on the amount of maintenance and upkeep, and we did have water out there in the winter that may be tough and some different things, but I think it's a good question. Why don't we do it? But
I'm just wondering if there's an opportunity in the future, like if we need to gain access and just say, hey, could you open up the gate and we're
going to have like Santa on the island.
Just call the dam guy.
Okay.
He'll help you out.
Another question I'm just curious about. Where do you guys have your work trips? Do you visit other dams throughout the country? Or do you host other dam experts throughout the country and be like, these are our dams? And then you're like, but you got ours. Is there a competition?
We do.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
We absolutely do. We're a regulated utility in Montana.
Okay.
And we don't necessarily compete with, say, Idaho Power or Avista.
Okay.
Their customers are their customers. Ours are ours. And the hydro industry is very open. And we have gone to visit other sites and learn from, other companies. And, there's a lot of great ideas out there. And they've come to visit us. And I think it's a great relationship and a great industry that just helps us all be the best that we can be.
So the power that's created by Great Falls dams, does it just go to Great Falls homes or does it go to other homes?
Yeah, good question. The answer is yes and yes.
Okay.
No. or no and no. So we have our company and the entire, if you think about the electrical grid in our nation, it's broken into two major components. There's the transmission system, which is high voltage and meant to carry a lot of energy far distances. Okay. And then there's what we call the distribution system, which, your house or this building are connected to.
Okay.
And it's at a lower voltage and it's more localized and regional. So our energy from our dams goes onto the transmission system and then goes wherever it's needed. You picture it like, let's say you had 5 or 6 garden hoses connected in weird configurations in your backyard. Okay?
That's a pretty daily occurrence in my place.
And you've got water going in some places and water coming out in some places, right? And the water just flows where it's needed. Okay?
Yep.
Regardless of where it's put in or where it's going out, it just kind of goes the way water wants to go. And electricity works the same way.
Okay.
So this energy in the river in Great Falls does not only serve the Great Falls community because it's connected to a larger grid that's connected to everything.
Ah.
Okay. So my father is an electrician, so he's always saying that electricity's lazy. It takes the least resistance, and I'm like, same. So
You are electricity.
yes. Another, I guess, question. We launched a new creative in April 2020, which we started marketing Great Falls as the best dam town in Montana, including the word dam and a lot of puns. One, did you catch wind of that? Like, were you aware of that? Or were you just like the crazy tourism office is at it again? And then 2, we did get some feedback because this is our first time saying like we're the best damn town. We put it on the radio. And there were people that gave some feedback. They didn't even know we had dams here or falls. And they thought we were just cursing, on
we weren't.
On our ads. So we had to respond to them like, hey, we have 5 dams in our community and we're very proud of them and they're beautiful. Yeah. Do you have any say on that? Do you see any any issues with marketing as the best dam town?
Put your marketing hat on and just answer that one if you can.
It was a problem we didn't think we would have because we're like, oh, it shows pictures, there's videos, there's footage. And then we're like, radio placement. The shucks.
The best one is they always tell us we spelled it wrong when we say DAM.
Well, we have 11 dams spread across the state. 5 of those, almost half of them, are here in Great Falls. And there are several good dam towns out there where our other facilities are, and we have employees that live in great communities. But I would have to agree that Great Falls is the best dam town in the state.
You heard it here first from a dam expert.
5 beautiful facilities, a lot of energy gets made and created here that serves the entire state.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One of our recommendations for scenic drives is for people to see Gibson Dam, right? Or I'm sorry.
Yep.
Gibson. Which was the model for Hoover Dam. Do you have any experience, knowledge, or expertise on that? Or no?
Well, I'd say absolutely go see Gibson Dam. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That part of the NorthWestern Energy family of dams?
No.
Okay, never mind, guys. And scratch that one out.
And Swift Dam isn't part of the NorthWestern Energy family of dams. Because there's no power plants attached to, now that I think of Gibson.
They're pretty much just storage reservoirs that feed irrigation.
Oh, okay. So there's other
purposes for dams.
Absolutely.
I've also heard that Halter Dam, right below it, that's where the best fishing is, and not even on the lake. Is Is that true?
Yeah, Holter, the Missouri River below Holter is an absolute blue ribbon trout stream.
Do you know the definition of blue ribbon?
If there's a formal definition, I don't know. But when you drive in the parking lot and you can see license plates from 49 other states,
Yeah.
that tells you there's something there worth seeing.
I like your answer. We did have someone else on the podcast that was a fishing Missouri River expert, and I asked him, like, what does blue ribbon mean? Or someone asked that. I literally thought it was a poetic term. I didn't know it was a regulated stream.
They had a contest, and they won blue. Somebody else got red.
And then there was a participation.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Okay.
So I've had the privilege of getting a tour of Ryan Power Station, we'll call it.
Yep.
And I have also had an opportunity to walk across the top, not all the way, but just a part of the way of Rainbow Dam. But not everyone can do that all year long, except there are moments when you open the tops of the dams and allow people across them. Correct?
Yep.
When do you do that?
What does it take to get that done?
Yeah.
Well, we typically, I believe it's 2 or 3 times a summer, open up Cochrane Dam.
Okay.
And that's in coordination with the River's Edge Trails Group.
Yep.
So that you can really connect the South Shore Trail and the North Shore Trail.
Okay.
And it just makes a great opportunity for people to hike. You can hike a loop and walk across the dam. We a couple of years ago, COVID put a halt on this for now, but we were doing the bike race.
Oh, the Beyond the Dam one?
Yep.
Okay.
And there we actually, they could cross Cochrane as well on bikes, and Black Eagle too.
Really?
So we hope to get that started up again, when large public gatherings are allowed again and are, smart and supported.
So part of that Beyond the Dam bike tour, there was a big dam party at Black Eagle Memorial Island, live music.
There was.
And that island doesn't close in the winter, correct? Because if it does, then I trespassed. But I don't think it does.
No, that stays, for during daylight hours, it's open all year.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Dawn to dusk.
My dog did trespass there, went past the fence line, and, and then I trespassed there to get.
It was you. Oh, I remember that one.
I'm on the
Cops will come later.
great.
Security camera only caught a partial pic. We couldn't follow up at the time.
Like the Sasquatch picture. So we also have some dreams about the Missouri River and recreation on it. Do you think Northwest Energy could become a sponsor to get some zip lining, say, across?
Because I'm sure that's safe.
I mean, so that you can get an even better picture of the dam. Because people love taking pictures of the dams.
They love going to see all of the dams.
Yes.
It's one of the number one questions we get.
Where are the falls?
I think supporting a zip lining enterprise might be a tough sell
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it would be fun. I'd love to see someone do it. I'm just not sure we could put our name on it.
Darn it. All right.
You're asking the man to commit the entire backing of NorthWestern Energy, which is
A lot of events
very
that
large company.
A lot of events that happen in Great Falls, like Northwestern is a sponsor. And I'm like, might as well ask. The worst they can say is no. Yeah.
I'd definitely participate if we had one.
Okay. All right. We've also heard that it's a great area below Black Eagle Dam, the falls area, to practice kayaking.
Yeah, like Whitewater Rapids.
Yeah, I think a lot
I
of
won't do
people
it.
put in, you can walk down to the bottom of the island. There's actually a small boat ramp down there.
Oh,
And then you can put in, and I don't know if they go all the way down to Rainbow and get out, or if they do a loop, or I'm not real sure, but I've seen them down there.
Okay.
do you get worried as the dam guy that people recreate too close to the dams?
If they follow the rules, no.
Okay.
There's clear signage, downstream, and that's directed by state law. It's not our rules necessarily, but they're there for a reason and a purpose. And then upstream, on the reservoirs, we have big boat barriers to warn, boarders or swimmers that may get too close. So those are good, appropriate safety measures. If those are followed, then I don't worry about that. Unfortunately, they're not always followed.
Really?
Be a rule follower. It's cool.
It's so cool. Don't trespass like I did. What's the one thing you want people to know about dams that they may not know, that you're like, actually, it's this? Like, is there anything you regularly correct people on?
Well, I think, a couple things that really resonate with me. One of them has nothing to do with your question, but I'll throw it in there.
Okay,
just
great.
a little bonus. There's just incredible history at all of these facilities. Many of them are over 100 years old. And, while we're doing a lot of upgrades, we're making them better and more modern. Many of, original equipment, original units were running just fine, up until they were upgraded. So that's something I think a lot of people may not know or would not appreciate, that, a machine that was put in place to make electricity 100 years ago still works today and works well. Newer, better, more efficient options are out there, and we're migrating to that across the system. The other thing that I think, maybe we need to sell it more as a company is just the value of hydro as a renewable energy resource.
Yeah.
And in the press, in Helena, it seems when people talk about renewable energy, it's solar and wind. They don't really talk about hydro as much. But it's, one of the cool facets of hydro being renewable that many people don't think about. If you have a bucket of water in the river at upstream of Black Eagle, that little bucket of water is going to be used to generate electricity 5 times before it gets to Fort Benton.
Oh.
And then when you think about the larger system, even just the Missouri River, if you dumped a bucket of water in Hebgen Reservoir north of West Yellowstone, that's going to make electricity at Madison Dam and Toston and Canyon Ferry and Hauser and Holter and the 5 here in Great Falls. So it's not just the renewable aspect of, water flowing to the ocean and evaporating and being redeposited through snow and precipitation. It's renewable at every place along its trip to the ocean, every site that it goes through.
That's pretty impressive to think about.
That is. Wow. Efficient. Yeah, I think that's a good sell. Yeah, you guys can pitch the bucket idea. We'll put our name on it.
What we can do is we can just start making buckets here. We're no dam experts, but we're part of the cause. And you can take your bucket of water and dump it in. No, that's probably an invasive species issue.
I thought it was going to be marketed as like a beer bucket.
Oh,
Like,
that's a good idea too.
we're full of options. We have no dam expert stickers that we have for our podcast, and I'm going to send you back with a lot.
That's awesome. I'll take them.
When you say interview someone, a candidate for a position, and they don't get it, you can be like, there's this podcast, we're no damn experts, and neither are you. You didn't get the job.
That's probably not a good HR move.
It'd be
But it's a
fun.
brilliant idea.
You can give them to people that like maybe aren't experts yet. Like, hey, you're moving on up, but
So you were talking about the history of the dams, and one of the things we talk about making Great Falls one of the coolest places in Montana for history is if it were not for Great Falls, a lot of other communities in the state would have not have been developed to the way they were because of our hydroelectric power.
Absolutely.
Places like Butte, not calling you out, we're just saying if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have been as cool as you were. And the development of the dam in Glasgow, Fort Peck Dam,
Yep.
okay.
was we were instrumental in all of that. Do you have a dam historian at at NorthWestern Energy?
We
that
don't.
shares all that information.
We used to have some employees that were very interested in that and retained a lot of old information. I think, unfortunately, they've retired.
Oh,
We don't have a designated historian, but we definitely have a lot of history. And I think, each of our employees at the different sites, they all have a very good feel for the history of their sites. And when you can get them together and share, the history of the system, then, that's really powerful.
Literally.
But I would add, just to throw a shameless plug in here.
Go for it.
Just this morning at the Black Eagle Memorial Island, Butch Larkham has written a book called The Golden Kilowatts, which is a history of the dams in Montana.
Oh.
And just today, that was released and rolled out. So I would encourage you, or maybe I should just get you each a copy.
Well, we would read it if you got us a copy. We would also check it out from the library or go to Cassiopeia Books and see if she can get us one.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So the information's out there.
I didn't even know, and it's right around the anniversary of our podcast.
Yeah.
So maybe it was planned. Who knows?
Although
Maybe.
if you learn too much, you cannot claim that you're not damn expert. So you got to be careful there.
Yeah,
No,
we
no.
will never.
No.
There's never a concern we would be claiming. We're going to do a podcast on hunting. We know nothing. It's going to be great.
It wouldn't be an accredited knowledge. You know how you can take free Harvard classes, but you can't say you went to Harvard. Like,
Right.
I would.
Well, and then there's the storm spotter classes that the National Weather Service holds, and you can be an official storm spotter, but you're not a meteorologist.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of level I'll get. Be like, did you know I read a book? And I returned the knowledge.
And I'll put it on my resume. Read this book. Have extensive knowledge.
Exactly. We could start a book club.
Yeah, I think we should probably just stick to a podcast.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, we really want to thank you for coming on the podcast and
My pleasure.
And trying to make us dam experts. We were really excited that you said yes, because I know a lot of people don't know what they're getting into. And if they listen to some of our episodes, they're like, man, I don't want to be put through the ringer. But you held up strong.
You did good.
You did really, really good.
And
Thank you.
really such a momentous moment in our podcast history to finally have a dam expert on the show. It's just awesome.
I know that in our future episodes, I will reference the 6,000 cubic square feet of flow required or desired for the plant to be.
For Black Eagle, yeah.
For Black Eagle. So then I can seem like an expert, but we all know we just regurgitate information that we've heard.
That's all we do. We read interpretive signage. We're like, oh, that's a fun fact. Put that into memory. I do want to shout out to Heidi Hawkett. She listens every now and again. She is the one at NorthWestern Energy that was able to connect me with Jeremy.
Oh, thank you, Heidi.
She's my hookup. So thank you for making that happen.
If you have any questions about today's show with the dam expert, you can get all the information on we'reknowdamexperts.com. You can also call me at 406-761-4436 or just shoot me an email, information@visitgreatfalls.org.
And until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy, wonderful face here in Great Falls, we hope you are creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you are.
Bye-bye.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing dam town. Damn, that felt good.
On the next episode of We're No Dam Experts, Rebecca and Madi share with you exciting news about moving out of the basement. We're No Dam Experts is produced by Great Falls, Montana Tourism with original music by the best dam musician, Joel Corda.